Welcome back, guys. We're talking trading psychology in tonight's video newsletter. And I'll tell you, I have a really important, I think almost urgently important topic I want to talk about with you guys. With the internet these days, on our cell phones, on our computers, with this access to almost unlimited information, a lot of people are struggling right now with this almost compulsion, this urge to want to know everything about everything. It's not just trading. It's in everything we do in this life now. And I see a lot of people struggling with this. They won't commit to one market or one strategy. They want to learn stocks and options and Forex. And now cryptos, they cast this net so wide, they become, what happens is they become somewhat good at a lot of things. But here's the problem though, guys. This world we live in doesn't reward good anymore. It may have in the past, right? 20, 30 years ago. But today, if you want to be successful, especially in a competitive world of trading the markets, you got to be better than good. You got to be great. And you're not going to get great by trying to learn everything. I see a lot of people struggling with this, not just in trading, but in life in general. And so in tonight's video, we'll talk about why this is a big problem, how it's robbing you of success, not just in your trade account. And you know me, I'll give you a recipe to kind of kick this bad habit. I got a pretty good plan of attack that I've used in my life to help me get successful in whatever I'm doing, and I think it will really help you as well. This is a pretty important one. I see a lot of people struggling with this right now, so it's a pretty important topic. I want to help you get over this bad habit. All right, let's go. So as I mentioned in the introduction, I hear this a lot lately from especially new traders. They have this urge, this almost compulsion. It's almost like an obsession at this point to know everything about everything, right? They got to know everything about the markets before they commit to any single strategy or any single market class. The root of this is the fear of failure. That's ultimately where it comes from. And in tonight's video, I'm going to show you why failure is your best friend when it comes to success in anything that you do. And I'll give you a roadmap that I've used in my personal life to help me kind of fail forward and become more successful in a shorter period of time. So let me show you what I mean by this. So the ultimate root of this desire to know everything about everything, especially in the markets, is that they're afraid to commit because ultimately they're afraid of failure. Everything's fun, easy, and exciting at the beginning of learning anything new, right? But things get harder. They get a lot harder as you scratch off the surface and begin to learn more about something, right? As you get into more complex territory, it's not easy anymore. The same thing happens in trading. And so, of course, this increased challenge, what does it do? It creates pain, it creates fear, and I think it's a natural instinct for us humans to try to avoid that pain and move towards learning something new because it's fun, it's easy again, rather than committing to one strategy or committing to, one market. Again, ultimately, the reason we do this is because we're afraid of failure, right? We're afraid to commit because we're afraid we'll fail ultimately in the end. Learning something new always feels good. It's always exciting, right? Isn't it? I feel the same way. Who doesn't love learning something new? We're all like that. And doing this, it will get you good at a lot of things in life. But like I mentioned in the introduction, the world doesn't reward good anymore. The world, it requires great. I'll tell you, there's a lot of good out there, right? There's a lot of good people, right? But not much greatness. And there's too much competition in this world. If you want to be successful in a job as challenging and competitive as trading, you gotta be great. Personally, I've seen this affect one of my closest friends. He's smart, he's a hardworking guy, but I'll tell you, he is scared to commit. He's gone to numerous different schools, achieved various advanced degrees, and I'll tell you, he's good at a lot of different things, but his fear of choosing the wrong career or failing at whatever career he does eventually choose has paralyzed him. And now he's almost 40 years old with a whole lot of book smarts, a lot of diplomas on the wall, but no experience in the real world. which is, guys, it's all that really matters. I don't want you to waste the next 10 years of your life suffering from this fear of failure and basically lack of commitment. So in this video, I want to show you how to kick this fear of failure, how to beat this fear of commitment, how to stop being good at lots of things and become a great trader. So here's a 3-step solution to help you break this. I think it's a costly habit. A habit that's robbing you really of the opportunity to become a great trader. And honestly, you can use this 3-step solution in anything in life. So in step 1, it's time to choose a market and get started. Not tomorrow, today. Get off YouTube, get off social media, and for gosh sakes, stop buying more books on Amazon, right? Get all those distractions out of the way, and let's choose a market, and let's get started today. Next, you got to find a mentor. There are really 2 ways to learn anything, right? Especially trading. You can spend the next 10 years sitting at your desk, watching charts all day and watching hundreds of YouTube videos, trying to learn what a good trade looks like and how to put all these pieces together. Or you can dramatically shorten that curve by finding and working with a mentor. And then step 3, once you find a mentor, then you got to plan the journey, because once you understand what the journey looks like, you're going to have a much easier time committing and taking action. Think of it this way. Would you ever go on a road trip without knowing the ultimate destination? I sure wouldn't. If I'm going to pack up all my stuff, gas up the car, take a week off working with you guys in the trade room and go on a road trip, it sounds like fun. Love road trips. But wouldn't it help to know where I'm going, right? Where's the destination? Where am I stopping along the way? What obstacles do I need to prepare for? What do I have to look forward to when I'm there? How can I get excited? How can I be prepared? How can I commit, right, without knowing the destination? By knowing the destination and the path to get there, it just makes it a whole lot easier to commit to the journey. Wouldn't you agree? So this is the 3-step solution for it. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about choosing a market, finding a mentor, and most importantly, planning that journey, because that really is, I think, one of the things a lot of people miss. First, let's start by talking about choosing a market and getting started. Now, first of all, there is no perfect market and certainly no perfect strategy. As I've mentioned in previous psychology videos, we need to stop this search for perfect, because perfect just simply doesn't exist. And you're wasting way too much time searching every corner of the internet, right, trying to find it. Every strategy has good and bad. It all has pros and cons. The futures markets, right, which is what I focus on, the stock market, the options markets, the Forex markets, and now the crypto markets here in 2021. Now, you'll find benefits to all 3 of these markets, right? Or all 4, any market you choose, right? There are always pros and cons. I chose the futures markets because they're best for short-term day trading. They allow me to use leverage. The commissions are really the lowest that they are in any asset class. They're highly liquid, which makes them safe, and they're consistent. So you can trade them each day. They're perfect for that day trading strategy, 4 or 5 days a week. Most importantly, I chose futures because they fit my lifestyle. They fit kind of my goals. I kind of like the idea of waking up every morning, getting to my desk, trading the same markets, the S&P, the NASDAQ, the gold, the oil, finding my trades, finishing early, and getting a good night's sleep because I'm flat at the end of the day. But keep in mind, guys, the futures markets certainly aren't perfect. They're not very good for long-term trading, right? Overnight margin's expensive. You have contract rollover to deal with. And that same leverage that makes futures perfect for day trading makes them a little too dangerous for holding them long-term. If you were looking for a more long-term trading market, it might be wise to consider the stock market or the options markets, or maybe even now possibly the crypto markets. You can buy or sell and hold positions for a longer period of time in the stock market, or taking an options position, right? It's just there are pros and cons. So think about what your goals are. How much time do you have to invest each day? And what I always tell my students is, what do you want your day to look like? That's going to help you choose which market, right, it'd be best fit for you. Now, guys, I could go into a lot more detail on finding a good market that fits your needs and your goals, but I want to keep this video going. So if you want any more information about the differences between each market, and I'd be happy to help you find a good fit for you, just drop me a comment in the comment section and I'll help you out with whatever, specific situation that you're dealing with. Now, once you choose a market to focus on, the next step is to start failing forward. This idea of failing forward is probably one of the biggest challenges for most people, right? But it really is the secret to achieving success in anything you do in life, not just trading. I personally always try to remind myself that success is on the other side of failure. In fact, there's this very famous quote, I can't recall who said it, but if you want to be successful faster, you need to increase your rate of failure, right? We probably have heard that saying before. In other words, the more often you fail, the more often you learn, and the faster you'll become successful as a result, because you'll have that real world experience. And that's the key, guys. It's got to be real world learning, real world experience, not written in some book. You got to go out there and fail a little, fail forward and get that experience. But as you can imagine, right, the idea of going out and failing all day, right, taking a bunch of losing trades all day to learn isn't very attractive to most people, right? Nobody wants to sit at their computer all day long, taking loss after loss after loss, waiting to put all the pieces together on their own. It's definitely not easy. It's not fun to push through that initial struggle like I did. So this is where step number 2 comes into play, which is finding a mentor. Finding a mentor is one of the most important pieces of this strategy because it just dramatically shortens the entire learning curve, right? Having someone there to guide you, telling you what's important and what's not, will definitely make failing forward a whole lot easier. In fact, if you find a mentor, you won't be failing as often. And when you do fail, it won't be as painful and scary because you'll have someone there right along with you who's been through the entire journey already. Most importantly, I believe having someone there to lean on, having guidance along the way, it just makes the hard times easier. Because, think about it. When it comes to trading, most of us are working by ourselves on our own each day, trying to piece all these, put all these pieces together, aren't we? Trading can be a lonely game. Having a mentor will really make this a whole lot more enjoyable and more effective. Now, very, very important. I also believe it's important to have a mentor you can trade along with each day. I love reading books, guys, but reading a book about trading or watching a video course or hanging out in chat rooms with people calling random trades, it's not going to make you a very good trader, right? Because trading is a performance skill. You can watch as many YouTube videos as you want. You can read hundreds of books off Amazon, but until you go out there and actually trade, you're never going to learn how to do it correctly. In fact, and I tell this inside of our beginner classes, learning to trade is a lot like learning to swim. You can read a book about swimming, but when you get in that water, when you jump in the deep end, right, you better have someone there with you to keep you from drowning. Isn't that true? So find a mentor, shorten that learning curve, make the process enjoyable, and make sure you can trade with them each day. That's the fastest and really the most productive way to learn this particular performance skill. Now, very important. And I think this is something a lot of people forget about or don't get to this stage. The third step to breaking this bad habit of trying to know everything about everything and struggling with that kind of paralyzed fear of commitment is planning the journey ahead of you. Right? Knowing the journey, for most people, is the key to getting the confidence to commit to taking action. Right? In trading, it means picking one market and one strategy so you can start failing forward and becoming not just a decent trader, but a great trader, right? Because for most people, it's easier to commit when you can actually see the path ahead of you, isn't it? Planning the journey, will outline each milestone and the steps you'll need to take to accomplish the result that you're looking for. Simple as that. As an example, think about my 3-step strategy, which I teach to all of our students here at School of Trade. In my 3-step strategy, I outline the 3 milestones you'll need to learn before you can consistently find those 3 to 5 best trades each day. For example, in step 1, we have to identify what I call the day type. Remember, the markets are different each day, but they can always be classified into either a trending market or a range-bound market. It's as simple as that. Again, the markets are always different. There's never 2 days the same, right? But you can always classify them as either a range or a trend. And trending markets have very different personalities than range-bound markets, right? And so when you know the day type, when you know the conditions you're dealing with, you know what type of strategy works best that way, which for me gives me a ton of confidence when the market moves quickly and I'm taking trades in our trade room. Then in step number 2, once we know our day type, we then apply support and resistance levels that work best in those market conditions. For example, trending markets, which have a very different personality than range-bound markets, trending markets will use different support and resistance levels than range-bound markets. One of the most common reasons new traders lose money when they're learning is because they're trying to use the same levels of support and resistance with the same setups pretty much every single day, even as the market conditions change. Just like with anything else, guys, if you want to be successful, you need the right tool for the right job. We can't apply every single tool to every single job, right? That's the goal of milestone or step number 2. And then finally, in step 3, once we know our day type and we find the right levels to use, then we look for entries off those price levels. There are, for the most part, 4 basic entry categories you'll need to learn to be successful: failures, breakouts, pullbacks, and reversals. Most importantly, these entry setups should never rely on indicators because they lag too much. They're going to give you way too many false signals. And if you're like me, trying to take small risk with a big reward on my trades, right? We got to be better than indicator signals, more accurate. We focus on price action because it's the most consistent in all types of market conditions. Now, keep in mind too, a lot of folks ask me, we don't just trade patterns. Yes, patterns or, entry setups are part of what we do as part of this 3-step kind of game plan. But we want to trade the right pattern or the right setup in the right location in the right market conditions. That's the key to getting the consistent results in any market that you commit to trade. The most important thing to remember, though, is this today. Knowing the path you need to take, in this case, learning these 3 steps, or these 3 milestones. Think about it. It removes the fear of commitment and replaces it with confidence and excitement. And for a lot of people, it gives them a ton of energy to get moving and make it happen, right? It did for me. Once I saw the roadmap, I was off to the races. So once you learn the roadmap, or once you know the roadmap, now instead of stumbling around on the internet trying to piece all this missing stuff together, the fog starts to clear and you can see that path ahead of you. At that point, all you got to do is put one foot in front of the other and you'll get there faster. For some people, this means taking 6 months. For other people, this might be 6 weeks. It all depends on a combination of your level of experience, the amount of time you have to dedicate each day, and a little bit of your personality type. Now, guys, I could go into a lot more detail about this entire 3-step strategy, but like everything I've discussed so far in this video, it's most effective when you take action and do it with me. Now, I offer a free trading course on our website that'll show you how to apply each of these 3 steps to any market that you choose to commit to. What I'll do is I'll put a link for that free class. I'll put a link up here in the upper right-hand corner for you. Grab that link. I'll also drop the link for you down in the description of this YouTube video. Grab that link. Learn each of these milestones, and then most importantly, commit to taking action on whichever market, right, you want to master in your trading career. All right. Boy, we have covered a lot so far. Let's do a quick recap. So you got a game plan, so you can have the confidence and the plan to take action with here tonight. The most important thing you can do today is to choose a market and start today. Remember, there's no such thing as perfect. There are pros and cons, there are good and bad, there are sacrifices for everything in life. But you have to choose. Choose a market and get started. And if you want more help in choosing a good fit for your situation, again, drop me a comment in the comment section below. I'd be happy to help you navigate which market might fit your personal needs and your personal situation the best. Then go find a mentor, someone who provides guidance, makes the hard times easier, shortens that learning curve, and gives you the opportunity to trade alongside him or her each day in live markets. Remember, trading is a performance skill, which is why trading with a mentor each day is the fastest way to fail forward in your trading career. Stop hanging out in chat rooms, trying to piggyback on someone else's info, and stop telling yourself that one more book is all I need and then I'll be good, right? Yeah, books are great for certain situations, but not for trading. You know, think about it, guys. Would you read a book about swimming before you jump in the deep end of the pool? I hope not. I hope not. And lastly, plan the journey. Your mentor should provide you with a roadmap to follow, and that roadmap should make the journey easy to understand. That's going to give you the confidence to really commit and do it with him or her. Yes, the markets are complicated, but no, your trading strategy does not need to be. As I mentioned earlier, I believe trading can be as simple as 3 steps, right? 1, 2, 3. Learn those 3 milestones, and you'll be successful. It's just a matter of time. But I'm going to warn you, if you continue on this search to know everything about everything, you'll become relatively good at a whole lot of things, but you'll never be anywhere close to great. Being great is what matters in today's competitive world. Being almost great is what it takes to be successful in these very competitive, fast-moving markets. Please don't waste the next 10 years of your life trying to learn everything because you're scared to commit, because it's robbing you of valuable time and energy. Guys, you're not going to have this much energy 10 years from now. I don't care how old you are right now. 10 years from now, you're not going to have the amount of energy you have right now. So do not waste it. Don't waste this time and this opportunity. You're going to regret wasting all this time if you let the next 5, 8, 10 years slip past you by watching YouTube videos and reading books, all because you can't commit, right? And jump in and get started. Start committing, start taking focused action, and start failing forward, because that's the key to success. And again, if you want to learn more about that 3-step strategy I mentioned earlier, if you're like me and you like the idea of having a clear, simple, and proven roadmap to follow each day, I would definitely recommend you grab that link. Again, I'll put that link in the upper right-hand corner. Learn the strategy. Take action on whatever market that you want to apply to. It works, guys, if you work it. It works if you work it. If you really want to be successful, that strategy will give you the roadmap you need to make that journey a whole lot shorter and more enjoyable. All right, guys. Boy, wrapping things up here tonight. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy these types of trading psychology videos, please be sure hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because I'm going to keep these videos coming throughout the entire week, and I don't want you to miss the next one. And remember, I'm always here to help along the way, so don't be afraid to drop me a comment in the comment section, or just shoot me an email to jj@schooloftrade.com. But that's all for me tonight, guys. Now go take some action, will ya? Choose a market, find a mentor, get a roadmap, and start failing forward, because it's the only way you're going to be successful in anything that you do. Guys, I'm out of here. As always, be well out there. Be nice to each other, will ya? And be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.